Mr. Eggplant presents...
Hey guys, thanks for checking out my video. And in this video, as you can see, we're going to be doing some more Mythic Plus action for BFA, Battle for Azeroth. And this is actually going to be a run. It's a Mythic Plus 10 Motherlode. Unfortunately, just heads up, we don't finish it in time. We miss it by like a minute and a half. We're actually running with a couple of guildies, so it won't be as smooth as some of the other ones, but that is just fine. We're doing, trying to get some people some gear. I think we had some alts, so it's perfectly fine. And the one nice thing about this is actually going to be an 8.1 build. This one is going to be with my Unerring Visions build. I believe I'm running with 3 of them. So this will be the new hunter. So I'm excited to bring this to you guys.
Nerfo silence.
So the one nice thing about this build, which is the same exact build as my single target build that's on my channel, the nice thing, I do not change anything. This build is really good for weeks that are tyrannical, such as this week. Oh, by the way, the affixes are, of course, infested, tyrannical, necrotic, and raging, because I almost die there. This is what's really nice is since I would be running with an AoE build if this was a fortified week, but since trash isn't nearly as important in these weeks, I tend to go with a single target. And as you can see by the damage so far right there, I know it's just only a couple early pulls, but I'm already doing a heck of a lot better damage than I was prior to, even like a week ago. But unfortunately there, you can see, I still pull off people really easy. I was probably attacking the wrong target though.
Which mob are you talking about here?
And also for group comp, there is me on my hunter, of course, marksmanship hunter. We have Nerfo, who is our demon hunter tank. He was our main tank last expansion, has been doing some DPS havoc work this expansion so far, but he has been tanking for us this week, and doing pretty well. And unfortunately, as you can see here, yeah, we had I think it was Sylv's pet, who is our Death Knight. I want to say demon hunter. Couldn't figure out why it pulled. I think it has to do with pets being weird still, and you guys have heard me say it before, and there's a cut because we do go ahead and wipe there. I wanted to save you guys that hassle and that trouble of watching that. But I've still noticed that pets, like, they'll tend to run in front of you. They'll run way off to the side, like not even when you're attacking anything. So I don't know if they just still don't want to change the AI that they use, but like their path, especially pathing, is such a problem still, and that's one reason why I don't like beast mastery or just hunt pets in general. Unfortunately, I have some beautiful pets, some of the rarest pets in the game, and some that aren't in the game anymore. But unfortunately, I don't ever get to use them. And we get this these 2 thugs here, which is still fine. Oh, and also the rest of the group. JB is on his resto druid. We've got a warrior. I can't tell if he's arms or fury. He's gonna I know Skull is gonna hate it, or necro, I guess we should call him now, but he's one of the 2. And then we've got Sylv on his Death Knight. So we have a pretty melee heavy comp, which is just fine by me. That just means that I have more to do. And the nice thing about this build is the fact that I can run with True Shot all the time. So like, I should be using True Shot here. I don't believe I do. Take it back, I do. But the nice thing about running with the last talent that we do, the name escapes me, calling the shots, there we go, is that you can use it quite often. And I'm getting to the point where I feel much more comfortable when I'm doing group work, whether it's raid or dungeons, that sort of thing, to where I don't you know, it's like a minute and 20 is what each one of the cooldowns last. So, you know, it would really help your DPS and your group as a whole, especially in Mythic Plus, if you make sure and you use your True Shot on cooldown, especially on priority targets. Obviously, bosses are priority targets, but the big pulls in this place, which we're going to get to one of the first big ones. This one's a nice size one, but definitely manageable. You would want to make sure and use it. And then the nice thing about this as well, as you guys can see there, is I have a really good cleave, especially if we get like 5 targets. Like 5 targets is our perfect number. Any more, we can't hit them all, and any less, we're kind of wasting, you know, an ability. But I guess I should say, whenever we're wasting an ability, we have the opportunity to hit another one. We just can't because there's not one there. So as you can see there, Nerfo is dropping off his necrotic stacks and getting ready to pull. And of course, misdirect is key, and especially in this dungeon, there's just so much trash. And we're gonna go. We're gonna let the misdirect fall off before we pull. But we want to make sure and interrupt the hired assassins and then knock them back / stun them, CC them whenever they do the flechettes. Which I used my bursting shot for that. You're going to see here in a second to where, or one of the next couple pulls, it just like shoots through him, and I have no idea why it did, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe I was just, because they gave it a longer range in this last patch, but maybe I was just you know, on the wrong side of him. I don't think so, but who knows? We'll find out, right? And also with Infested, which we've been trying to miss Infested packs, it is key to drop, if you're not running with Binding Shot, which is the arrow that goes on the ground, the purple arrow, then you want to make sure and drop a tar trap just as they're coming out. I do a pretty good job of hitting those. I think there's a couple times in here where I don't. And we want to make sure and get that interrupted. That took a little bit longer than it really should have. Should be almost instant. But because if those guys are raging, that hurts. And that hurts the entire group. And if they have poisons, like you're seeing right now, like he is just massacring us. Luckily for me, I have my pocket heal there. And unfortunately, I think we're going to pull an extra ad maybe here soon. It might be this next pull that we end up pulling too much. I think we pulled two packs at once, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's not you know, the end of the world, I suppose. So we're just gonna wait around here, let JB get some mana, make sure and get the right 1 CC'd there, and go ahead and pull. So yeah, with this build, especially AoE wise, you have to always use your misdirect, because unless you're, I haven't figured out any tanks that have been able to just pick up everything, other than maybe a paladin, which I don't run with a lot. But if I spray, so obviously whenever I pull a pack, I'm going to start out with popping my double tap if I have it up, and then I'm going to multi-shot, and then I'm going to hit my aim shot. So it's going to hit everything twice. So basically, if there's 5 things, I'm going to get 10 hits out of it. And chances are good, he had the tank in that up to 5 seconds at most hasn't got you know, enough aggro on all of it. And unfortunately, there's where the one that gets pulled. But that's alright. We'll get it taken care of. Just more damage for me. And as you can see there by the damage meters, the DPS is pretty healthy so far for my AoE. And as we'll get to see on the first boss, the damage on bosses is still really good too. Like, I don't feel like I really fall off. And as you can hear there, this pull wasn't bad just because his necrotic stacks had dropped off. So that would be what would have killed. So that's actually what killed us earlier. He just had too many of the necrotic stacks. Let's get rid of the spawns of Gahoon here, though. I won't lie, I'm going to be kind of sad when these are gone, because I really like the spawn of Gahoon. It's interesting, the infested. FX is really interesting. So this one we want to make sure and interrupt the hired assassin so he doesn't put venom or his toxin there, which I did. And this would be a pack that, like, for example, if we're in here and it's teaming, I want to use my cooldown. I want to use my true shot on this pack, because this pack on teaming is terrible. It hurts. Because there's 2 assassins, there's 2 of everything pretty much, other than the peacekeeper. And as you can see there, he was right in front of me, and he just decided to resist it or something. So
resist now? Okay.
So we'll get this peacekeeper down, and then as you can see, I have my true shot up and I'm ready for the boss. And I haven't been using my hunter's mark because it really wasn't worth it, where you know, on bosses especially, if you can pop it up there easy without wasting the global cooldown, you'll be good.
Where you turn in a Kunda's
And as you guys can hear, as we pull the boss, we'll see what kind of DPS I can burst up to. Glitch, our guild master, just figured out that they added some new world quests where you can get turn in a Kunda's bite to get you know, various things like angerweed, that sort of thing. They made it much easier to get some of the harder to get items like expulsum, angerweed, that sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my pet out here. For one reason, we're going to have to lust as soon as we knock some bombs into this guy, but also two, I was taking quite a bit of damage there, and that's one thing that I like to do, even like especially in progression. But like when we were on Heroic Cahoon in Raid and Old Deer, I would just pop the pet out because that 10% leech is just so nice. It's just gonna. Luckily for me, I had popped that, so we're good. Now we'll lust and just put some work in. Get my double tap, and this is where hopefully my DPS will pull ahead here.
Doing it this way. It seemed like the better way to do it.
Probably should have used that steady shot there. It kind of threw off that opener, but that's, you know, that's all right. Now it would have been really nice had my true shot been able to line up with that. Unfortunately, it didn't. But you know, that's just how it is sometimes. All right, so I'll kick that one, and then I just pop my true shot, and we'll see what kind of damage we get. You see, immediately we popped right up, and so we're the top DPS now, which is nice. I think item level wise, I normally say that in the beginning, and we didn't. So as you guys can see there, did some great damage, nicely done. Definitely viable for marksman, especially in these dungeons. But I think I am 370. It's either 373 or 374. I'm gonna say 373 to be safe. JB, I think he's right around the same, 373. Nerfo, I'm not sure in his tank gear. I know in DPS gear he is 375, 376. Let's see, I believe Necro is right along with us, 371, 72, somewhere in there. I think he's probably 373. And then Sylv, the Death Knight, is I believe 379. So he's got a few item levels on us, and he's got a really nice weapon. I won't lie, I'm really bitter. A little salty, but it's alright. One day I will get a good weapon. I mean, I have a 370 weapon, but you know what I mean. The way Marksman Hunter works, especially, your weapon damage, so obviously item level of your weapon, is the most important stat on your character. Like we need certain Azerite traits, yes, but like you're only going to get better with a better weapon. And I know that I had some people actually comment on my video recently, so I do appreciate you guys that do leave feedback on the videos, even if you don't agree with something I say, and I do change those. They're like living, breathing organisms, so to speak. Those guides that leave me a comment. Let me know, hey, this isn't working for me, but I'm doing this, and then I'll try it out, and then I share with everybody, you know, what we found. So I definitely hope you guys would, even on this one as well. I know there's probably a lot of mistakes I made in this video that, like, play style wise, that sort of thing, that I can do better. Speaking of which, I die in the last 1% of the boss at the end here. I know it's really sad. So I'm sitting there thinking about that as I'm talking to you. So that's the example I was given. Alright, so I always like to make sure, because these are the harder pulls in the dungeon, this one and in the next 3 or whatever, I always like to mark the one that I'm going to silence. I believe Nerfo actually silences it in front of me, though. Nope, never mind. It looks like I got it.
Ah, shit, sorry.
Oh, no, he did get it. There you go. All good.
So I got nothing else. Oh,
Is it, but see, look at that. We made this pull super trivial. And look how much damage we're doing, guys. Like, we're doing double what the next highest DPS is. And all we did, I guess we did use our cooldowns, but still. Like, they're priority targets. That's what you're supposed to use your cooldowns on. And we made mincemeat, quick work out of them.
Mincemeat.
That was weird. I apparently had said the exact, because as I do a voiceover for these, I rewatch them and then I record over the top of it. And apparently I had said the exact same thing in Discord, because that's why you're going to hear Glitch just as soon as I said that go, mincemeat. That's kind of funny. It just kind of shows that I say the exact same thing all the time. As if you guys didn't figure that out in my videos.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
So on these, you obviously you want to make sure and interrupt the shield and then interrupt the quake as well. Otherwise, they just do massive amounts of damage. So I went ahead and popped my double tap there in preparation for my next my next aim shot. I know I wasn't going to be able to get it up, but you can always get it on cooldown. As long as you can, use it in 15 seconds, it's not a wasted cooldown. So I will do that quite often just to get that cooldown going, because it doesn't, or it starts on cooldown even if you don't use it, even while the buff is still up. So this here is probably the hardest pull in here. I saved my true shot, and you know what? Let's do some work. We are just going to obliterate this.
I don't know if it's GG for dungeons, but that's good.
So he's already got his kiting going on here. Get my trap down, knock them all back, which I did. Look at that. Look at that is some nice damage. Especially this is a single target build. This is not I'm not running explosive shot. I'm not running anything AoE wise other than double tap. But that's what you run standard anymore, because all the other talents are pretty garbage in that line. But this build, I'll be running with this build every time that we're on. As long as teaming still wouldn't be bad, just because there's just more targets to hit. But as long as it's not fortified, I'm going to run with this exact build. Where if it is fortified, I'm just going to be running with explosive shot instead of the careful aim, which does more damage to bosses, since bosses have less health, etc. And there's one downfall to right now. I'm running with the I don't think it's called Pathfinder. It's the buff to where instead of me every amount of focus I spend, it lowers the cooldown of my exhilaration, nature something or other. I am running with the one that just makes me run faster when I don't attack, because I was actually running dungeons right before we did this. So unfortunately, I kind of screwed myself, because that's actually why I die at the end, because I didn't have my pocket heal up to save me. So I'm going to pull out my pet here in just a second, because there's going to be a heck of a lot of damage going on here. And as you can see there, I used my concussive shot, which now steady shot keeps the concussive shot rolling, which is really nice on this boss. It's really nice on the second boss in Siege of Borealis. But unfortunately, got some dead people there. But obviously we're still watching it, and I didn't cut this, so we obviously get through it. So now that we don't have a healer, I have to rely on myself to do some big heals, which nice thing is these Earth Ragers are taking more damage. It heals for 10% of the damage I do. I think I actually have a couple of other leech items as well. But so basically, I need to continue to do damage to live. And you'll see my health kind of go up there a little bit. Let's see. So we've got one tank. We've got one or two DPS. But luckily, Nerf is an engineer, as you just heard him say, and that's the cool thing. So now they have technically a B-res. It may not work all the time. That's the one downfall of it, but it did this time, and that's probably the reason we lived. So now I just got my hunter's mark on the boss, which I would I think I opened with that like that. Maybe not. I don't remember, to be honest with you. But we're just gonna continue to do damage on this guy. Just do a standard opener / rotation like we like we always do. And for you guys that are new to my channel, first off, welcome. Glad you made it this far before I welcomed you officially. But I do have different guides. I have the Unerring Visions build, which is what we are watching right now. I will put that in the link, or the link of it in the description of the video. And then I also have just like a standard entry level, not necessarily any certain build guide as well, that came out the very day that actually been out for about a week and a half now. The very first guide for 8.1. It could use some work, but I do change everything in the comments of the videos. I always will put a pinned comment, so if you ever watch any of my videos, definitely check if I say something that you disagree with in the in the actual video, check the pinned comment, because more than likely I would have either said I misspoke, I didn't understand something fully at that point, or I've done some research and this is what you should actually do.
He's basically Ozrod, but made of azurite instead of rock.
We've got another boss down, so we got two of 4 down. Right now, we're actually behind. Well, actually, I'd say we're about on par to finish on time. Unfortunately, we do die here very soon. We had some kind of wonky pulls. And I also, as for you guys watching for a hunter point of view, I will always dismiss my pet whenever I'm not going to need it for a lust. I just don't trust the way pets move. So here we're trying to figure out probably should have cut this a little bit, oh well. But we're trying to figure out exactly how to pull this and get through here in a timely manner.
Wait, that rat is infected, right?
And you see Nerfo's gonna...
The fuck is blowing up?
The bombs, Nerfo, the bombs.
She's gonna hang around hard, right? Well, the rats?
So we are gonna choose to go this way.
Let's see if I can
Unfortunately...
Why the fuck am I lagging?
We'll get the test subjects, but unfortunately we also get the mastermind. That does stink. However, I think we could live through the mastermind. I think those assistants to the masterminds left is going to pull, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, meta just came on that.
Oh, it's the spawns of Cahoon that go to them. There we go. That makes sense. And we're just gonna wipe it up here, as this is when Yakety Sax will be playing. That's what Nerfo. Whenever we're going to wipe in raid, we will always play Yakety Sax, which is also known as the Benny Hill song, depending on, you know, if you've watched old TV or not. So we didn't screw up this time. We just pulled just the mastermind, and we continue to move forward. We grabbed the second mastermind, which is really nice because Nerfo's given us a way. Oh god. So JB and I are sitting there thinking, oh my god, he's gonna pull that stuff again. Luckily he didn't. Nah, that's what I'm saying right now.
No, too, man. I was like,
I got wings, I got
so
wings.
he's, like I was saying, he's showing us how to Demon Hunter tank properly, and if you screw up, you can get around it. That's why they have wings. And I hope you guys like the transmog I'm rocking here. It's the Blood Elf, what is it, Heritage. I want to say Azurite armor, and that's not right. The Blood Elf Heritage armor, I just did that quest, this a couple days ago now. I did put it out on a video, so if you wanted to watch the very end of that. And then I'm also running with the Sun Fury bow, which is really cool. It's a really awesome bow that you can get. It's in BC. I don't remember which boss drops it. I'll put the link of the bow in the description of the video as well. So definitely check that out if it's something you're interested in. But it has a really unique animation, and I really like it. Look at that damage. Yep, he beat me. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll just make another pull here. Maybe. There we go. Go ahead and silence the alchemist, get him down here with the rest of the group. Got the AoE silence, and that's one nice thing whenever you can run with an actual group instead of running with pugs, is that you can communicate, hey, I'm doing mine now, that sort of thing. So then you don't waste anything. And look at that DPS, guys. This build, this AoE build works. Like that is an amazing amount of damage for next to no effort, if I'm being honest. Although we don't have a lot of abilities to use now. This used to be a tough pull for whatever reason, but on teaming, I should say, it's much harder. But on this one, that's nothing at all.
Sure.
So then I'm just communicating on if we want Lust on this boss, which we will just use Lust as soon as we get over to her, because that's the one downfall with this dungeon. The last boss, unless you get him after you getting past the 50% and then the intermission, there's not really a good time to use Lust.
Thank you.
So we'll get both of these masterminds down. I'll pull out the pet here in just a second.
I'm gonna reset my stacks here.
Probably dodge while you're in meta or something.
And there we go. And I always carry an array of different pets, including my World Quest tanking pet, my turtle, Gem Hide.
Yeah. Nope.
I've got Silverfang, which has been my pet since Burning Crusade. It's been a long time. But Silverfang and I have still been going through the expansions. So I made sure and got the 3, 2, 1 timer countdown on that so I could do a pre-pot just to maximize this pull, because look at her. She is absolutely melting. You looking for Azerite? I hate this. I hate her voice though. It's just like, I don't know why the goblins have to feel like they're from like New York or something. Which is nothing wrong with you if you're from New York, by the way.
Wrong deity, but that's okay.
Wrong deity, but that's alright.
I'm just kidding.
So the one nice thing, this group is pretty good at coaxing the propellant blast to go a certain way to clear out. Unfortunately, Necro did take that one to the face, but to clear out the Azerite that's on the ground. Because on weeks that it's Tyrannical, that's going to be what kills you on this fight. That's just not having the room.
Don't make me relive that.
I will dispel you, Necro.
Alright, pulling the variant.
Pulling the variant. Oh yeah, the reason they said that. So I had made the joke. I was like, well, it looks like you need to go back and get your Onyxian cloak, because you know you just got completely engulfed in that. And I thought that was kind of funny to say. Even though I didn't do that current content. I did it in Wrath, but I didn't actually do a
you know, because I'd be dead.
Onyxia's lair when it was current content, the original at least. So continue to pop out our aim shots, and that's one thing too, is you'll notice I don't do a ton of steady shots. Steady shots pretty much now are very seldom used. They're only filler whenever you're which, by the way, look at that damage, guys. In comparison, like the Death Knight has a way higher item level and a higher weapon than us, as in the I guess you're a part of me now, but like we can do really good damage, and that was a single target fight, obviously, pretty much tank and spank for the most part. Not I guess it's patchwork-esque. You just have a little bit of moving, but as you saw, I didn't have to move a lot because I made sure and put myself into positions where I didn't have to. And I think that's what's going to set, you know, especially in raid, between an average hunter and a good hunter, is that putting yourself in a position to where you have to move as little as possible. Because everything we have can be cast on the run except for our aim shot, which is the bread and butter of our build. Still, even though a lot of people don't like it, that it's still like the #1 damaging ability, it's a lot closer than it was with the steady aim meme build.
We're going left, by the way.
So we're just going to move up the left side here, as you heard JB call out. And I think JB may have said it just a little bit ago, but they added a lot more bombs to dodge in between here. So that's something to watch out for, but you know, not the end of the world if you do get hit by one. And also, if you are a hunter in general, obviously any hunter who has feigned death, aka all of them, if you get Heartseeker on you during trash or during the boss, you can just feign death and it drops it completely. Much like the death shot or whatever for the last boss of Tol Dagor, you can just once he chooses you, I think it's called Deadeye. He puts it on you and he casts, and then it just does a lot of damage, and somebody has to block it. Well, we don't have to worry about it. We just feign death as long as it's like once every that 20 or 30 seconds, I believe. Which, by the way, there is a trait. I think I currently have it that lowers the cooldown by 5 seconds. It's a minor trait. Definitely worth picking one up. It doesn't stack. I tried. It doesn't stack, but you know, you never know when that 5 seconds might save your life. So unfortunately, we did pull 2 packs there, but I made sure and popped some cooldowns, and look at that damage. I pulled off of him, and yeah, I have to be careful with that. I pull off people very, very easily, and I go ahead and soak that there because I knew I had my, and I'll get that for him. The one reason I went ahead and soaked that first one, as you see the Heartseeker's on me there, but she's dead, was that I knew I had my pocket heal, and I might as well just soak it so somebody else wouldn't, because I knew it wouldn't kill me. Assuming nobody attacked it. Like, if you attack it, those are also raging, and they will kill you. They will one-shot you if they're raging when they do their explosion.
God damn it.
And somehow that got pulled. I guess, come to find out, I guess it was just a tab target issue. I don't know why. Sylv said it as well. Like, we're engaged with something in front of us, he tab targets, and it goes to something that's not in combat to our right. That was a little weird. I don't know why that worked the way it did. But we're coming up on the end of this dungeon here. As I've got Sadie here with me. I'm staying at my girlfriend's for the next couple weeks, and what, Sadie? Sorry about that. Let's make sure and everybody stand on the guy who's going to soak the bomb. That's always a good idea to do.
Pretty much got dropped in one shot.
You did.
Yeah, because I mean, if you are, I think I'll be saying it. Obviously, you guys can't hear me because I mute my mic for these. But they, you know, if someone's gonna soak it, which more stuff got pulled here. If you're gonna soak it, at least make sure that you're the only one there. Or if somebody else is soaking it, don't stand on them. So there comes the bomb here. I'm going to clear out the crawler mine whenever possible. Although, if you have, it's not fortified. It's the one that
somebody getting a blue screen.
Somebody getting a blue screen of death. Yeah, it sounded like somebody was.
I know that computer.
But so it was whatever the one that whenever you kill it, everybody gets a stack. I don't remember what that's called.
That was me.
Either way. Those bombs will add that, so you always want to be careful with that as well. So I knew this was going to be a big pull. I'm going to go ahead and soak this here because you can see I have my heal. So I'll pop the heal. Almost died though. But this was going to be a big pull, so I saved cooldowns for it or made sure that I had them up. So Feign Death is my best friend there because I was doing some work. I can't tell. I think that's over 30k.
We're getting less necrotic stacks on the tank.
And yeah, like we said, way to go, guys, because so many people had aggro that they were the ones getting the necrotic stacks and not Nerfo, who is the tank, which is funny. So as you can see, we're coming up on 2 minutes. We're obviously not going to be able to beat this in 2 minutes, the boss, which does stink because we were really hoping to time this one. We had just got done doing, or excuse me, they did. They had done it without me. They had done an 8, a 10, an 11, a 12, and then they were doing the 10 again. So they were doing another person's key. So unfortunately, you can see we're not going to get it in time, so no one's really rushing. I always have the pet out because I will be using the pet to lust, but obviously I don't even think we're going to get a chance to lust. I think we only go about 3.5, maybe 4 minutes on this fight.
Cool.
So as for me being the only ranged, chances are very good I'm going to get that homing missile, so I always want to be careful, and we always want to dodge the Boombas. And also, as you guys can see here, and you will see throughout the fight, they changed how abilities line up. Like, it used to be the Boomba's explosion would happen, and then the Gatling gun would happen, and they would never overlap. Where now, they have a terrible overlap.
Sometimes you do, because when he finishes the Gatling, sometimes he'll turn at you
and then continue to fire as
finished,
yeah.
So you will get a
yeah, see, I took a lot of damage there for no reason because I was running inside the model of the boss. And on this one, this is one of those few fights where it's not really ideal to be a marksman because there's a lot of movement.
We've had a really good luck with the Boombas.
Yeah, and as JB said, he is right. We did get some really good luck with Boombas. So see, we want to continue to move here. And unfortunately, I am just getting wrecked by that.
Tyrannical fucking...
Glitchy said it best. Tyrannical. Anyway, so we are watching the Boombas move there. Make sure and watch out with the Gatling gun. I seem to do alright this time. And didn't need to do that actually. Had I not done that, I would have lived during this fight. So we need to make sure and everybody be ready for the big explosions there. Don't want to get hit by that. And I have aggro on the Scorcher, which I need to feign death, get rid of it. So that Azurite Heartseeker, that's the thing, like I was saying earlier, that you can just drop the cast on. So we always want to stand around here and make sure that we're close to the... Okay, I not want to get hit by that. Then stand there. Took a lot of damage from that. Unneeded damage, really, too. But as you see, our timer, it's ran out. But we are very close on this one. And I wanted to make sure and, get a good quality recording for you guys. And I wanted to show you guys, too, that this build, this Unerring Visions build works really, really well. It works in Mythic Plus. You can use one build for, at least for Tyranical weeks, you could use one build for both AoE and single target. And you don't gimp yourself in either aspect. Like, you can do the best DPS, best AoE DPS on trash, and then you can also do the best DPS single target. Which this is the only boss, which unfortunately I think this is where I die. Rip the clicker. Wah, wah, wah. Don't die too often. But luckily, JB's going to pop me up here in just a second. We're going to finish this off in style. So we're going to finish off Raz Dunk here. So I appreciate you guys, hanging out with me. I know this was kind of a long video, roughly 40 minutes or so. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the way you're playing your marksmanship hunter. Let me know the things you liked, things you don't like. And until my next live stream or video, I'll see you guys later.